We all knew him. He was here, and we accepted that. It had been that way for as long as I could remember. We lived around him. We had to. He wasn't going to leave. I sat alone in my house, watching the static on our television. My mom was at work, and my sister was at daycare. I avoided looking out all of the windows. It was dark here all the time. The mornings were a little lighter, but the night seemed even darker. My mom was the happiest woman I knew. Her optimism was contagious. Everyone in town said so. She often went walking outside. She forced my sister and I along with her every single time. I protested, but she always insisted. We all ended up having fun, laughing, and enjoying ourselves while we walked under the weak glow of the streetlights. That was never what the walks were about. It wasn't for fun or family bonding. They were to teach us. My little sister was too young to know, but I understood. We were to never live in fear of him. Those walks were to show us firsthand that we could go outside and be happy. My mom often hosted parties at our house. We had a beautiful backyard. Lanterns and small circular lights adorned the rails of our deck and the backs of our lounge chairs. The whole place would illuminate in a hazy yellow glow. It was a different glow than the streetlights. Less creepy, more welcoming. I blamed the phenomenon on my mom's ability to constantly stay happy. The lights she set up somehow embodied her beliefs. I hated living here. I hated the constant darkness, the vehement happiness of everyone in the town, and most of all, I hated him. I knew the reason Mom tried so hard. It was all for me. She was worried about me. He senses negative emotions. They attract him. Like a shark is attracted by the scent of blood, they bring him close. Sadness, hate, fear, they'll bring him right next to you. I shuddered, looking down at the carpeted flooring. I had seen him a few times. He had been far, but he was there. Mom always told me not to look. It was something everyone knew. Even if he was right beside you, all you had to do was avoid his face and you'd be okay. We were having a party tonight. Mom was having all of her friends over. Everyone loved it. There was safety in being together. That's what everyone said. I didn't agree. Mom knew I didn't. She kept telling me just smile. Just pretend. Eventually, you'll believe it. I doubted I ever would. I wasted time waiting. There was never anything good to do. There was only happiness. More and more happiness. Eventually, my mom came home with my sister. Her face was pale, but she smiled easily. She didn't have to speak up for me to know. He had been around our house. I knew it was because of me. I could keep trying to pretend for her and my sister, but it all felt wrong. Whenever my mind wandered, it was always to a bad place. Mom knew why. It was all because of Dad. Dad looked at him, and we never saw him ever again. He had been far, but the distance didn't matter. One look was all it took. Mom prepped for the party, giving me the task of helping my sister with her reading. I sounded out words one at a time, articulating each syllable. The music Mom was playing made it hard to focus, but we managed. People arrived one by one, all with beaming smiles. They came with gifts, flowers, food, CDs, all things my mom loved. I greeted them with my own smile. I could never get it to reach my eyes. All the guests went out to the backyard, cheerily talking about things that didn't matter. Smile big, smile big. Mom told me before she pushed me outside with everyone else. My sister ran around our large deck with other children. They never ran outside the glow of the lights. No one ever went outside of the glow of the lights. I looked around at the crinkled up faces. So many smile lines. I touched my own skin, feeling the smooth, unwrinkled surface. I wasn't like them. I couldn't smile like they could. I couldn't live with him. The air became frigid. The left side of my body felt frozen. He stood right beside me, so close that it felt like he was inside of me. He was all white, like an angel. In the corner of my eye, I could see his exposed ribcage glowing iridescently. A high-pitched ringing filled my ears, making me dizzy. I looked to my right. People were looking at me and at him. The ones that weren't looking cowered in fear, tears falling out of their tightly shut eyes. I couldn't hear their sobs of anguish or cries of fear. All I could hear was him. I opened my mouth to tell them to shut their eyes, but I knew it was too late. Their eyes glowed with a beautiful white light, their expressions grim. Without a word, they stood up and walked beyond my mom's lights. The darkness opened its arms to them, swallowing them whole until I could no longer see their faint glow. I watched my little sister walk in a straight line with all of the other children, their eyes glowing softly. She turned back. I thought she was looking at me, but she wasn't. She was looking at him. With that, she disappeared, just like everyone else. I looked at her wistfully, knowing that would be the last time I'd see her shiny blonde hair. I walked inside without a word, ignoring my sobbing mother. He followed me every step of the way. He was so close, like a second skin. That's why I'm typing my story out here. Please, do not come to this town. Once you're here, you can't leave. He won't let you. Even now, I can feel his cold presence right behind me. Do you think if I smile enough, he'll leave me alone?